For billions of years, the universe has been silent. Stars have burned, planets have formed, and comets have come and gone. But not one has ever spoken back. On November 7, 2025, NASA's Deep Space Network went silent for exactly 1.8 seconds. Then, every receiver across 3 continents picked up the same pulse, a rhythm, a code, coming from 3I Atlas, the interstellar comet that entered our solar system just months ago. Low electronic pulse repeats. Beep, beep, pause. Beep, beep. At first, it sounded like interference, but the pattern wasn't random. It was structured, deliberate, and when physicist Michio Kaku saw the data, he said just 5 words that changed everything. The object known as 3I Atlas was first spotted in 2024 by astronomers in Hawaii. It was faint, fast-moving, and cold. An interstellar visitor hurtling through the void at over 110,000 kilometers per hour. At first, scientists thought it was just another comet, like Oumuamua or Borisov before it. But 3I Atlas wasn't like anything we'd seen before. Its composition was inverted, 8 times more carbon dioxide than water, and it glowed faintly even in the absence of sunlight. When it passed by Venus in early November 2025, Japan's Akatsuki orbiter recorded something extraordinary. Tiny bursts of electromagnetic energy pulsing through the planet's upper atmosphere. It was as if the comet was communicating, not with Earth, but with Venus itself. Sound, brief electronic tone, slowly fading into background. NASA dismissed it as coincidence, plasma interactions, solar radiation effects. Until 3 days later, the Deep Space Network in Goldstone, California, received a signal that changed everything. Sound, low rhythmic beeping pattern. The pattern repeated every 7 minutes and 13 seconds across multiple observatories in Chile, Australia, and Madrid. It wasn't just received once, it echoed. Each repetition was slightly altered, as if the source was responding to its own reflection. NASA scientists ran over 100 simulations. They ruled out satellites, cosmic rays, local interference. What they couldn't rule out was intent. Within days, Harvard's astrophysics department confirmed the readings. The signal's waveform had harmonic intervals, mathematical precision, like something designed, not born from chaos. Dr. Eleanor Lin from the SETI Institute said in an interview, "We've never seen a natural object modulate its emissions like this. It's like it's tuning itself." The word artificial wasn't used publicly, but behind closed doors, it was the only word anyone could say. Scene shift, typing sounds, lab chatter, distant hum. In a secure NASA meeting in Pasadena, data from Voyager 2, Hubble, and the James Webb Space Telescope were cross-referenced with the signal's direction. What they found made no sense. The signal wasn't coming from the comet. It was coming through it. Pause. Heartbeat sound, as if the object was acting like a relay, a transmitter, or worse, a mirror. Michio Kaku appeared on multiple news networks within hours. He spoke cautiously, but his eyes said more than his words. If an interstellar object is amplifying or redirecting electromagnetic energy, we may be witnessing the first sign of extraterrestrial engineering. NASA refused to confirm. But privately, engineers at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, JPL, detected something even more bizarre. Sound. Slow pulse fades into higher frequency tone. When they beamed a test signal, a harmless radio ping, toward 3I Atlas, it came back 19 seconds later. But it wasn't the same. The returning signal carried a different frequency signature, and embedded deep within the carrier wave. A repeating prime number sequence. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. Silence. Prime numbers. The universal language of intelligence. Music builds. Soft strings and deep bass drone. For decades, humanity had dreamed of receiving such a signal, but no one expected it to come from inside our own solar system. News leaked. Within 48 hours, every major observatory on Earth turned its instruments toward 3i Atlas. Twitter lit up with theories. Reddit exploded with speculation. Was this the wow signal of the 21st century? Was it a glitch or a greeting? NASA released a carefully worded statement. No conclusive evidence suggests the signal is artificial in origin. But inside the agency, panic was growing. Satellite arrays began receiving faint echoes across multiple frequencies, not just from 3i Atlas, but from Lagrange Point 2 near the orbit of Earth and the Moon. It was as if something else was listening, mirroring the signal back at us. Whispered static layers in background. Dr. Lin's team uploaded their findings to an encrypted network shared with the European Space Agency. 2 hours later, the server crashed. All logs vanished. When she was asked on live TV what happened, she simply said, "Maybe it's better if we don't know yet." Pause. Eerie quiet. Meanwhile, Michio Kaku proposed a radical idea on a live stream that went viral. If 3i Atlas is transmitting prime sequences, it could be acting as a cosmic router, relaying signals between intelligent systems across the galaxy. And then, in the quiet of the night on November 10th, NASA confirmed what many feared. The signal had changed again. This time, it answered. The new transmission arrived at 03:17 a.m. UTC. Its structure was unmistakable. 4 bursts, a pause, then 3. Then a modulated tone that perfectly matched the frequency of Earth's own hydrogen line. The same frequency SETI has always used to search for intelligent life. When decoded, the data revealed a 3-dimensional grid, not an image, but a map. The coordinates didn't point to any known star. They pointed back to the exact position of Earth on November 7th. The moment the first signal was received, silence, faint piano key. Narrator, low whisper, it wasn't calling us. It was locating us. Music swells into tense crescendo. The implications were staggering. If the comet was some kind of probe or relay, it meant someone, or something, had designed it to awaken upon entering our solar system. And the trigger may have been us. NASA classified the rest of the data immediately. The public received only a short message. Unusual signal activity detected. Investigation ongoing. But inside JPL's secured lab, one final discovery stopped the team cold. Hidden within the signal's harmonic structure was a low-frequency echo. A human voice, barely audible, but distinct enough to transcribe. "We see you." Whether it was a trick of the data or something real, no one could say. Michio Kaku went silent for a week. When he finally appeared on a podcast, he said, "If this is real, it changes our definition of loneliness forever." NASA has not denied the existence of the recording, but the files remain classified, stored deep within the DSN archives under code name Echo 3i. Weeks later, 3i Atlas began to fade. Its tail thinned. Its glow dimmed. By December, it slipped, past Jupiter's orbit, heading toward interstellar space once again. The signal weakened, then disappeared. But the data it left behind is still being analyzed, and somewhere in those digital shadows, scientists say there's something strange. Each transmission, each repetition of the signal contains tiny variations, differences too precise to be random. When plotted across time, they form a shape, a spiral, identical to the mathematical constant found in galaxies, DNA, and the Nautilus shell. Soft hum returns. Narrator, reflective. It's as if the message wasn't meant to communicate in language, but in patterns of existence itself. Was it a test, a warning, or simply a hello, written in the only form the universe understands? No one knows. Perhaps no one ever will. But Michio Kaku left us with one haunting thought during a lecture weeks later. When you stare long enough into the void might decide to stare back. Music rises, soft orchestral chords swelling with emotion. In the end, 3I Atlas was never just a comet. It was a mirror, reflecting not light, but our own longing to connect. For centuries, we've pointed antennas to the stars, hoping someone might be out there. Maybe we've been heard. Maybe we were always part of a larger conversation, one that began before humanity ever looked up. Music softens. Long pause. Narrator. Final line. Whisper. Maybe we're not meant to understand everything. Maybe we were only meant to wonder.